Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store, where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with the 5th challenge for that Maverick Joe, which is a $300 challenge to trophy with a list with Duck Confidant in Legacy, most likely either a Maverick or Duck Depths deck. I would say the Deadguy is pretty close, and this version of Deadguy is thanks to Delta, who won last season's trophy race, and actually played Deadguy for one of his trophies, which is very cool to see. So pretty keen to see this. The tech that I really like in this version is the main deck Relics, as this deck doesn't really use the graveyard. It's a great way to keep things like Murktide off the field. Obviously quite nice against things like Reanimator and Painter in game 1 as well, so that is pretty cool. Hey Panda, too kind. 22 months. That's gonna be one of the longest ones yet, so I definitely appreciate you. A huge thank you. Yeah, I think the only changes with what I was thinking when building this deck was potentially playing Chrome Mox over Mox Diamond, but I'm not going to go against a player who's trophied a league with Deadguy, so pretty happy with that. The only changes I did make were to the main deck. I'm playing one extra Caracas due to Minsk and Boo being online. I think there'll be a lot of Minsk and Boo running around, and I dropped the Cling to Dust in the main deck, and in the sideboard I've added in 2 Serenities for sort of the artifact decks running around like Painter and 8cast, and also Opposition Agent. I took out the 3rd Engineer, which I think we should be pretty good against tribal decks, having Swords, Prismatic Ending, Stoneforge Mystic of course, Liliana, you know, a lot of sideboard hate as well. And there was one more card, but I cannot think. Kaya's Guile, which is pretty interesting, so there's that as well. Yeah, Relic for Hearse is definitely up for debate. I do like Relic as just a turn 1 play, and then being able to exile something straight away is pretty cool. But I could see Hearse in this list for sure, especially just like a mid-range deck. You do have a lot to do, so that is pretty interesting. But yeah, a huge thank you to that Maverick Joe, one of the biggest supporters of the Green Sun Zenith and myself. So yeah, a huge thank you. Hopefully he comes in the chat later on, but if not, I'm sure he'll be watching this on YouTube, which is pretty awesome. So let's get straight into it. We're playing Super Qualifiers coming up. Very cool. A Legacy League with play points, Deadguy. Nice. We're going to gameplay. Very cool. All right. Nice. I haven't tried the Bost Ice Long Black, but it's actually pretty nice. Pretty big fan of these. They're I picked them up in Japan when I was there, and they were a lot cheaper than they are in Australia. So there he is. Hey Maverick Joe, we were just discussing you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Deadguy's a sweet deck. Obviously started off by Chris Pecula. I'm gonna not say his last name correctly, but yeah, pretty sweet deck. And here we have a pretty great hand, like turn 1 Relic, turn 2 Bob or him. We have Wastelander's Interaction. We can start off on the Swamp as well, just to not get Wastelanded ourselves, but pretty happy to keep this. Not too sure what our opponent is on, but his hand lines up pretty well. Hey, Red the Reckless, too kind. Too kind, a big 1-3. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, opponent goes to 6. We will start off with Relic. There's also a world where we could go Urborg into Wasteland, which would then allow us to play a turn 2 drop and then also untap potentially with a lot going on. I think here I'm pretty happy to Wasteland and go back. Wasteland and Relic them rather than playing a 2-drop into Daze, but it's definitely interesting. I mean, him here is pretty nice. We could also do it off basics. Thankfully, both of these get basic Swamp and basic plains. I definitely don't mind Wasteland here. It sets us back a little bit seeing they have a DRC in play, but there are a lot of times where players lead on a 1-drop and have something like a Ponder in hand to find the second land. Okay. Just the island's pretty good for us. Inquisition. Okay. I think here I do like just Inquisition. I could play around Stifle by playing the Urborg. I probably don't mind a Wasteland from them anyway, so I think Urborg here is fine. Okay. So they do have the Wasteland, but to be fair, it's not doing too much here. The Murktide is irrelevant. The Force we can't take. It's between the Borrower and the Iteration. I think it's just going to be the Iteration. Because there's nothing else we really care about. It's really just them getting that value. And I think Iteration's just a good card to get them back into a position where they could potentially just go wide and not care about the Relic, but Relic definitely doing some work here, which is nice. I probably just want to Hymn next turn, which I assume they force pitching Murktide, just because then they're still discarding 2 cards, but they have control over it. The last thing they probably want to do is be left with something like Force and Murktide. Really nice as well that the Relic can just do work, and then when I want to cash it in for a card, I can cash it in for a card. Ponder off the top is pretty nice. They chose to not shuffle. Another Relic. Interesting. In case they drew Daze, we'll play a land first. And then probably just him here. The Hymn's quite nice with the second Relic, just in case they get to a spot where they could maybe, in one turn, put enough cards into the bin to then cast Murktide. Yeah, it's cool to see so much innovation from different players in the Maverick space. I think that Mark's been championing it pretty well as well, with cards like... I think Minsc and Boo fits into Naya Maverick very well, but I also think that Reflections of the Kiki, I think that's what it's called, it's the 3-mana enchantment, fits really well as well, because it gives you mana acceleration, which is fantastic. It gives you a little bit of card selection, which is great. So things like discarding maybe Collector Oof against Elves and drawing into something more apt for the matchup. And also the copy of a creature is just insane in a creature deck that also has large creatures, which is very cool. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Thank you. But yeah, that card is gas. That card is really good, especially in a deck where you can get it out turn 2. Big fan of that. Opponent here most likely thinking, do I want to take the risk, or do I just force it pitching something to have control over the 2 cards that I lose? And I think in this spot it's probably best to force. But potentially without playing this Relic, they're thinking, if they hymn me and get rid of 1 card, is there a way that maybe like a Fetch and Bauble could turn on Murktide next turn? Force pitch Murktide, alright. They put a Daze into the bin, nice. I'm not gonna pay here. I'm just gonna double Relic them now. Yeah, Minsc is a really nice one. Minsc also kills Minsc, which is quite nice, because I believe it ticks up to 4 and then you get a 4/4 straight away, so... It's nice to know that if a player plays a Minsc and Boo, your Minsc and Boo coming back could potentially kill it. They're just going to hold up Brazen here, which is pretty good for us. Mox. Okay. Do I value the Mox over the land? I don't mind it. It is like 1 less damage from the, I guess Mox getting Petty Theft is a thing, so potentially I'll keep the Mox and just play Bob. There's also a world at this stage where I could just potentially cash in the Relic. Doing it here allows us to draw into Hand Disruption, or even Swords to Plowshares. I think 1 is going to be enough to get us there, so I don't mind drawing a card here. Hey Elo, thank you very much. Thank you for the sub. Too kind, all of you, too kind. Yeah, let's just... I guess I don't want to lose this, so let's cash this in now. See if we draw into our 1 mana spell. If we draw a land, I'm just going to hold land Mox as 2 unknown cards. I think right now we have more than enough mana to do what we really need to, so... I mean, turn 5 at 17 life against the turn 1 DRC, these relics have done more than enough, which is really great, so... Karakas is irrelevant. Karakas could potentially pull a Wasteland, but... Do they bounce? Or do they just cast the Brazen Burrow and try to race? I actually wouldn't mind seeing a bounce here. They're just going to cast it, okay. Yeah, it's pretty nuts that there are some lines where my opponent could definitely get a Murktide into play, even with a Relic out. Maybe not 2, but 1 for sure. If they attack with the DRC, I'm pretty happy just to take it. Yeah. Not really in a position where I want to lose the Bob with just kind of mana in hand. Oh, they have a Bolt. Alright. Not really what I want. I'm also not in a position just yet to throw away the Relic. They also can't Sanctuary just yet, so I'm not going to get rid of the Bolt for now. Expressive is very nice. I think because of our mana, we can untap, see what we draw, and then go from there. I guess him's pretty nice, because we can him them, and then draw with the Relic. But it does have to be pretty good. Murktide and Daze. Alright, well... we will exile those to draw here. Not what we really want. Yeah, I typically like to take out some number of lands. I think here we're just going to take out the Brazen Borrower right now, in case they draw like a main deck. I think the Borrower right now is just a little bit more scary than the DRC being 3 damage. Also changes the clock quite quite nicely. Yeah, I usually keep in 1 depths, but I only play 2 depths. Because there are situations where you can just go for it. In the mirror, especially under Sylvan's Safekeeper, and against lands typically when they tap out, if they do tap out. I don't want to thin here either because the extra damage is definitely relevant. But potentially, ooh, another DRC is very good. Bauble's pretty nice, especially if they put an instant into the bin. Yeah. Tough. It's really a case of having like nice defenses somewhat with the relics, but no real pressure in removal. This is going to be interesting. I definitely like the Sudden Edicts. On the play, I don't mind the Plague Engineers, but I think it's a little bit tough. Could just be some number of Hymn to Terax. On the play again, they're not too bad. Stoneforge would have been pretty sweet there. Even like a Batterskull, especially against the smaller DRCs. It could have also been a case of maybe playing the Bob a little bit sooner. I like the Moxen, I like the land still. It could just be Inquisitions, potentially. Yeah, Relic's super nice. Like, although there we just obviously didn't answer the actual threat, we just kept it less threatening. Relic felt really nice there. But it does show as well, like, how quickly they can fill the board after. I don't mind Lily, but I assume if they bring in End the Festivities, it does deal with Liliana most of the time, because most of the time it's going to be neg Lily and then see where it goes. But even just the ability to maybe trade or even take a bolt is pretty nice. It could be some number of Bobs because of the life loss, but again, it's just such a good threat that I assume it would hardly survive more than 1, maybe 2 turns. Kaldra's still nice as well, especially if we can find a way through removal. But maybe it is the Moxen. Like, the Moxen aren't that great. We have 24 lands still, which is more than fine. And the card disadvantage is real, especially when our own the only real way to get back from the card disadvantage is Stoneforge and Dark Confidant, which are very easy to remove. That I don't mind that. Okay, this is a pretty nice hand. Lead on Thoughtseize off Swamp. Oh, this is also a different artwork. I apologize for that. I did not mean to do that to you guys. I don't mind taking DRC here, but it's definitely tough. Cancel the subscriptions. Like, I don't think it's Murktides. It could be Murktide, but then they're still left with these 2 creatures and also us down 4 life, which is huge. I think if anything, I just want to keep as much damage off the board. And DRC just being so good at making sure they find removal for Dark Confidant, I kind of just want to take DRC here. And then Bob next turn, and then Thoughtseize Bob the following turn, potentially. Alright. Island, Bauble, Delver. Relic would be nice. Prismatic Ending's not too bad either. I kind of like just forcing a Bob out here off of Plains. Pond is fine. Most likely keeping with the ponder here. Seeing how long they are taking. Nothing on my opponent, of course. Just usually with a ponder, if you take this long, you are just choosing how to stack it. Another bauble. Still 2 Murktides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they have a fetch land, they can cast Murktide as well. Oh, but they don't have a land. Oh, they played a land, of course. Sorry. Relic is huge. Relic is huge. So I could Thoughtseize, Prismatic Ending, and also Relic this turn. Or I could Thoughtseize and then Relic. They didn't attack with the Delver either. That's very strange. Days and 3 Regents. Okay. I guess if we take the days here, we can Relic and also... So if we Relic them and take them off one piece of their graveyard, they're still at 4, which means the Wasteland allows them to cast a Murktide. So I kind of have to take something here and then also crack the Relic. So I probably just want to take the days because we know about the Wasteland. And if the Wasteland takes out this Urborg, then something like Liliana next turn can just get dazed. I think I'm okay with that, and then just leaving them. I could also... I actually don't mind attacking here being at 14 life and trading with the insect. This kind of leaves them with no threats if they block. No blocks, okay. Another Prismatic's pretty good. Oof. It's a pretty good way to reset. Okay. We can... Oh, could we him this turn? We could him them, and then potentially Liliana next turn along with Prismatic Ending. If we get a land off the top, is game? Is some amount of game? I think that's the play. That's very true, Jimmy. They could just daze us and allow us to pay with the Relic, which is a pretty nice play from them. I think here we're just going to Prismatic Ending the Delver, because it's currently the biggest threat. Not attack and potentially block the DRC, if they don't. And then next turn we can have Prismatic Ending for DRC and Liliana use sack if we draw a land of the Bob for the Murktide. I think that's the play. Double Murktide, nice. All right. Ooh. Oh, we do have the mana for both of these, which is so good. But now we don't want to die to our Bob, so we do have to be a little bit cautious. Oh my gosh. Look, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It is gonna happen sometimes. And you just gotta roll with it. You just gotta roll with it. Do you read this? Greatness at any cost. Oh, that's hilarious. That is very funny. Well, I guess that actually kills the challenge as well. But hey, that's pretty sweet. I mean, it's pretty fun to play Bob and him in 2022. Damn, Xaxes. Tough. Bang a tweet, yeah. It's all about that that Twitter game. But hey, speaking of cloud, big thank you to Card Hoarder, who sponsors the channel and allows me to grab any of the cards that I need for these decks. And also to MTG Mate, which is an Australian online card seller. You can find them at mtgmate.com.au. They have a great buy list where they'll give you 25% extra value on singles if you get store credit. And of course, if you buy singles off them, you can use code DOUGS, D-O-U-G-E-S, for 5% off singles, which supports the channel. So a huge thank you. A huge thank you. All right, we're down. The challenge is over, but a huge thank you to that Maverick Joe for the challenge, because I love them. I love them. We played, I believe, 5 different decks, if not 4 different decks over the course of the matches. I actually don't mind this hand. Has something for, like, early interaction. Liliana's quite nice to mox into, potentially. Yeah. I actually haven't... Oh, are we on the play? Oh, we rolled a 4. I think here we're just going to roll with the Plains pass. And then potentially just have Mox Diamond into Lily next turn. Thanks, Fetterfoot. Too kind. Oh, Marsh Flats? Oh, this is going to be Reanimator. Okay. But do they also have hand disruption? They do. Oh, they're targeting themselves? Okay, that's fine. They do get to draw 7 here. I'm just going to allow them to draw here. I don't want a Swords in Response just yet. There might be another creature that I want to Swords. Too kind, Fetterfoot. Yeah, so the challenge is that Maverick Joe wanted to see a Dark Confidant deck in Legacy Trophy, and he wanted to see most likely a Depths or Maverick version of a deck get there. So we tried out Mono Black Depths, we tried out like a pretty sweet Dark Maverick deck with Bobs. I think we played like an Abzan Depths list as well. And then maybe Green Black Depths, and then we're on Deadguy tonight. There's the grief. I honestly think we just Swords this now, and then we have the Caracas for the Grizzle. Means they can't get it back either. And then we can also just 6. But it's going to be a pretty tough one to take out this game. Oh wow, nothing? They're just going to put some creatures into the bin? I thought they might be able to get another creature into play. Like an Archon there would have been huge. Just another Grizzle for now. Okay. Ooh, that's actually quite nice. That allows us to Mox, pitch Scrub, and then also get Stoneforge into play, getting our old friend, Kaldra. Look, maybe Kaldra can win us some games as well. Alright. Pretty nice as well. They need double interaction to be able to take both of these threats. I do love an old... It's Nate who commentates them. They're old YouTube VODs of events called... I think they're called like The Gathering? And there's like 50 episodes, and there's one where he's at a Vintage Eternal Weekend, and there's a dude that he's interviewing who's playing a Duck Confidant deck in Vintage with Blightsteel Colossus, and he's like, man, I've lost to it more times than I won, but I'm still playing it, which is just hilarious. Big fan. That's true, you also can't flip Kaldra if it's in your opening, that's very true. They're also at 1, so they do need to find some interaction here. Okay, they've got a mask. That's a good start. Honestly, it could be the case of not taking Kaldra because they're most likely to have hand disruption, that I try to get Jide and then potentially draw Kaldra off the top if the Stoneforge survives, but I assume Archon's going to be coming in here, which is brutal because we lose pretty much everything. But we do have some nice outs to it. We don't have Liliana, sadly, because there's no double black, but we do have Swords to Plowshares. Still probably like a 95% in their game. It's got to be like runner, 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 runner. So we take 9 here and go to 6. This card's excellent. I really love seeing this card. As much as it is good against the decks that I like to play, it is a really cool threat to get back and really, really powerful. A really nice alternate win con to Grizzlebrand in case they are playing against the Caracas deck. Archon should have been legendary. Yeah, when you're playing a double Archon, it's very hard to come back from that. I've seen some of the Sneak and Show lists as well picking it up as a sneak target, which is pretty cool. Because it's obviously pretty awesome with haste. And there's second Archon, so I think that is just going to be game. Reanimator. In the board, we don't have too much. It's the Deafening Silences and the Sudden Edicts. I don't think Opposition Agent just for Entomb is worth it, but I do like these. I don't mind the Moxen. I think the Hymns could potentially come out. The Stoneforge package is typically something to also exile, but at the same time, I don't want to be there. I also like taking out maybe 2 Prismatic Endings and keeping 1 for Animate Dead, but otherwise it's pretty dead. I don't mind trading with a Lotus Petal, potentially. Jide is actually probably worse. Maybe, It could just be an agent, to be fair. I don't mind 1 agent. Hey Vegeta, welcome. The question is Prismatic Ending really that great? Because if they have Animate Dead, the creature they're getting back is most likely getting value ASAP, so it could just be the agents. It's just flash creatures as well, I don't mind. Yeah, agent does hit Entomb. It could hit a fetch land potentially. There are a few nice things it can do. Yeah, I think ending might just be a bit of a trap, so. The Relic's a really nice main deck. I think Relic's probably the best 1-drop, and then Deafening Silence to stop them from any sort of Dark Ritual shenanigans, and then probably Hand Disruption. could also trim Stoneforge. The issue is that I'm quite light on actual threats to win the game, and Stoneforge is such a big part of that. But I can see where it can be a little bit irrelevant, but just because it's one more way to get Caldra into play, that's why it's pretty cool. This is kind of a tough one. I don't think it's good enough, because it really doesn't do a whole lot outside of turn 1 Bob, most likely. I really want to make sure that I can slow down their early game. I can't just try to get Bob into play and go from there, so... Hey Granham, thank you very much. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's a little bit too fair. This is better. I don't mind this. I probably want both hand disruption pieces, so I'm actually gonna bottom a land here. The issue is... if we bottom a land, it kind of has to be the Wasteland, because turn 2 I want to hold up both Swords and Thoughtseize, or Inquisition potentially. So I think I will take out the Wasteland. Yeah. Then we can just get mana online. I don't think I have to worry about like Magus the Moon. Entomb, Lotus Petal, Bloodstained. Okay. So they have ways to put the creatures into the bin. They actually have double Entomb, which is kind of scary. And they have Unmasked. They don't have a way to actually put a creature into play. I think it's just going to be Petal here. That stops them from drawing Reanimate. Yeah, it's very true. And I think against a Wasteland deck, they usually just go for a basic anyway. To get rid of Grizzlebrand. Okay. I kind of just want to Thoughtseize here just because of mana. If I draw into a 2-drop next turn, then I just want to cast that, so we might as well take 1 Entomb here. They drew Serenity, interesting. I think I just take the Entomb, because then we have the other creature answered by Swords, and just not worry about the Serenity. Because at this stage we don't really care about Deafening Silence. Relic can be turned into a card anyway. Caldra is of course indestructible, which is nice. So I think here we just take 1 Entomb and make them cast the other one. And then we have that creature covered by Swords. Yeah, I should have a better understanding of some of the players who are more engaged in leagues and what they're playing. Because other than obvious ones like Hallow Newton on Elves or Tony, usually on Mono Red's Storm, but he was on Burn last time we played. Alright. Probably just going for Grizzle here. Yeah. Alright. Not what we want, but the Caldra is a pretty free drop. Nice. They probably just discard the Angel. Yeah, it's fair. I guess it's nice to have a in-play removal spell, because Sarah, it's one way to get around Sarah, which is really nice. But typically it can lead to it being pretty tough. We do know that one card in their hand is Serenity. We don't know the other 2 cards. Alright. No discard from them. Kind of hope we just get a land here. Yeah. Don't really need a 4th land, other than casting Batterskull. 3 lands is pretty good because it allows us to cast a 2-drop and also keep up the swords. Oh, Maverick Joe, apologies, I saw that above. Yes, yes, I will. I will take you up on that challenge. Exhume's gonna be pretty good. I guess we get Stoneforge back. I mean, we'll search. Alright. Bob would be really nice. I think it's between probably Bob and like Relic of Progenitus wouldn't be too bad either. Just to keep them off actually having something to reanimate. I also want a Swords here just to keep them off being able to get 2 creatures into play. Because if I allow them to take the Swords, we keep the Batterskull, but then they get Archon into play. And then it's pretty dire because we lose the Stoneforge. We don't want to lose the Lily. Just tough all around. Looting. Okay. Interesting. Probably getting rid of an Archon here. The issue is as well with being able to draw 14 and sculpt your hand. Us making them sack a creature next turn, most likely Archon, probably means the turn after they're just going to be reanimating it anyway and making us sack the Lily, because I believe Archon is sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker, which is pretty tough. So if they get Archon back into play here, we get rid of the Mystic and then try to draw into Relic off the top to then make them sack and then lose everything. But we can hold the Relic until they try to get it back at least. Oof, okay. Ah, could they have named Planeswalker and then we couldn't target them with the neg 2? Is that something you get with Serra's Emissary? But even like Sudden Edict here, Swords to Plowshares is obviously turned off. And I assume if we tick down on the Lily, they get rid of the Archon and keep the Serra. It is a 2-tone clock potentially. So they're both 2-tone clocks. This does draw them 2 cards, but... I don't think we have an out here. I guess they don't keep the arc, or they keep this because they know that my out is probably only Swords to Plowshares or Sudden Edict, and they can most likely get back Archon as well, which gets rid of the Liliana, which is really tough. Alright. I don't have too much interest in Pioneer, unfortunately. And especially like time constrained as well. I hardly have time for paper magic these days, which is pretty tough. But definitely can't get enough Legacy, so it's always nice to stream when I can. And stream some pretty cool decks. Tough. Probably 2 decks you should expect as well when you're playing leagues. Black-Red Reanimator and Blue-Red Delver. Which, to be fair, are 2 decks that the main deck relics are really nice against, which is cool. You've been on 60 card D&T? Nice. Yeah, especially if you expect a lot of combo in the leagues. It's obviously going to be nicer. Yeah, also less considerations, especially with no Urian in the deck. But yeah, Luanil playing the 2 trophies we were with Naya Depths, which is nice. Playing Minsk and Boo, and I believe also playing a main deck Pyroblast, which is pretty funny. And kind of gives you a good understanding of how the Legacy format is right now. But hey, if you got it, you got it. Nice. On the play, not a hand I'm going to keep. Really want to have a bit more action. Okay, that's pretty nice. I'm going to put back the Swamp. I could potentially just put back a fetch land here as well, in case you're up against something like a Moon deck, and then we have access to both colors. Opponent on 7. Yeah, Minsk and Boo has been online for about 3 days. I think it was Wednesday, which is quite nice. I am going to fetch here. Okay. Definitely didn't expect Stifle. Okay. I don't mind just going for him here. Yeah, I'm not too sure how big, how much Maddening Hex is, but I know that Minsk and Boo is definitely up there at 50 to 60. Oof. Yeah, sadly I opened my chests on a whim, like the day before they announced Min's coming online. A little bit tough. Stifle Esper Sentinel. Nice. Maverick players are cursed. Yeah, it can definitely happen. Brainstorm. Okay. Pretty happy to jam Stoneforge here. A big difference as well if I do just swords in my turn. There's no real downside to that. To be fair, I think here Batterskull and Cauldra are most likely dead. I assume they have a bolt for the Stoneforge, so I'm just going to get the Cauldra because in a weird world where they don't have removal, the Cauldra just wins a lot quicker than the Batterskull does. But the Stoneforge eating a bolt isn't too bad. Or an Unholy Heat also deals with Stoneforge. They've lost connection. So if the I'm keeping the swords as well for a Murktide because the Kaya tick down does answer the Delver. The tough part is that the Stifle really means we can't play around days. I don't think we have the luxury of that. I think we just have to jam this. And like another Wasteland would be pretty detrimental as well, taking us off white. So we'll see how that plays out. But hey, if you guys like this content, definitely check me out on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter, and of course at the Green Sun Zenith. .com. Alright, opponent is back, which is nice. Opponent with 3 cards. We know one of them's Brainstorm. Actually, no, they used a Brainstorm. Apologies, Panda. Apologies, I take it back. But yeah, Minsk is cool to see online. I was a little bit worried about how the online metagame, especially around Naya Depths, the decks were kind of pivoting towards Minsk and Boo and Paper, and those without Minsk and Boo online. It's really nice for everyone to be focused on like the same kind of mission. Everyone moving towards the same goal with the same sort of deck. No bolt. It's pretty cool. No Wasteland. That's pretty awesome. Ah, Swords to Plowshares. Ponder first. Okay. They did play a land first, so they can't actually... Oh. What is Delver's worst matchup? That's a good question. It chose not to shuffle, so I assume we have a removal spell coming. Or potentially a Stifle on the Cauldra token. Nice. Hopefully we can fetch here. Nice. I am just going to get a scrub land because we can't really play around Wasteland here. Oh, that's huge. Wow, I did not expect any of that happening. The fetch, the Kaya resolving, actually being able to exile the Delver, now having Swords to Plowshares for Murktide is really nice. And after playing Murktide, they only have one card left in hand, which means that they can't force it or daze it with this one Wasteland in play, which is really nice for us. Well, Swords first as well, so they don't draw anything. We'll play the Wasteland in case for some reason they're playing like Spell Pierce in the main deck. Swords this. Exile these two. I could play the Jide. Could also take them off white. White does keep them off Esper Sentinel and Swords to Plowshares, but not really relevant here. So I'm actually just going to play the Jide. I'm not sure if they play Prismatic Ending May deck, but if they do, kudos to them. Also, the Wasteland for us, just allowing us to play a 2-drop spell around Daze is still pretty nice, especially when we haven't seen a Daze yet. Yeah, not a single one. Oh, I feel like this is either a Ponder or just a Murktide. I guess they could have Murktide. No, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be Murktide. Yeah, I mean, we're like, you just have to be pretty open to these sort of draws with a deck like Deadguy. But at least we have a plan once we get a creature online, which is quite nice. The Jide races the Murktide, which is awesome. Yeah, they got a second Murktide, but they got to brainstorm for it, so I don't think it's being, you know, there's nothing we can do about it, so there's no need to get angry about it. I mean, it's turn 7, so I think expecting a second Murktide isn't too far out of the mainstream. It is tough as well, because even if we Wastelanded them last turn, they would have still been able to cast the Murktide, and we would have been back a land. Hey Mangork, welcome. Nothing. I don't mind Thought Seizing here, Just in case it's a removal spell. Okay. It's on top of the deck. Ooh. Okay. I think here we're just going to get this Cauldron into play. And then next turn we can equip Jide. Okay, let's go with ending on this first, because they might even daze it just to see if we can, like, if they can keep us off being able to equip the Jide. Okay. Upkeep, I'm just going to gain life to play around Stifle. It also plays around like Stifle Bolt. We also get to play Batterskull next turn. Ooh, that's pretty huge. We just want to gain life here, go to 6. Happy to see if we can swords this first. There is a world where I should have fetched, but I didn't want to go down to 5. They're going to force it pitching Daze. 6, 4, go to 2, but gain. Now this is a tough one, because if they have Bolt, we can't fetch here and put in the Batterskull. So I think we will just gain another 2. So they can't Bolt us. Yeah, I'm pretty happy to play around Bolt and just keep this kind of back and forth going. Hey, Luca Boring, too kind. 22 months. You guys. Oh, they played it. They played the Wasteland, but now they're just dead. Oh, they played it. See, if they don't play the land, we think it's Bolt. They have 0 cards in hand. We're at 9. They take 5. They take 4. Opponent, come on now. They also knew about the Batterskull, right? That's what we got? No, maybe not. Yeah, they do. Nice little comeback here. They did know about the Batterskull because it's what we searched with this Stoneforge Mystic as the last piece of interaction. Cast Stoneforge, reveals Batterskull. Yeah, turn 8. Alright. Pretty happy to get that. What did we take out last time? We brought in the Sudden Edicts. That was really it, to be fair. I think it was just the Moxes. I could see, like, Thoughtseize on the draw. Still have the hymns. Hey, Luca Boring. Yeah, played Mono Black. Actually, I'll put it live tonight on YouTube because I do have it waiting in the ranks. But we did play a Mono Black list last week or the week before, and it's really cool. I'm a big fan of it. It's nice and slim. The one card I'd love to see that maybe is not the right card is Grim Discovery, which is sweet. Grim Discovery is really nice. Grim Discovery is 1 and a black for a sorcery. You can return up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target land from your graveyard to your hand, which means you can get back Hexmage and Dark Depths in the same kind of 2 mana, which is pretty sweet. I think it just might be the Thoughtseizers on the draw versus Stifle. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it could be the Moxen. Like the card, again, the card disadvantage is where I got kind of stuck last time, so I think taking out the Moxen is fine. This hand is pretty good. Turn 1 Relic. Especially if they play turn 1 Threat. I guess if they play Esper Sentinel, I might not lead on the Relic, but I will definitely fetch. Delver. Okay. Nice. Let's just go for basic Swamp and Relic. That's fine. I can now kind of see as well where him can be a little bit awkward in Legacy right now, because hemming my opponent probably just puts them closer to a Murktide. Second Delver, okay. I kind of like Bob here instead of him, just to really start digging towards some extra removal. Like the him isn't doing too much here when they already have 2 Delvers on the field that'll most likely flip. But it really shows you, like, you know, Delver is probably the least threatening card in Delver right now, or at least in these decks, but the double Delver starts can be really tough. There is a world where we could also just trade one of these, potentially, and then leave one for Lily. They didn't have a Daze last turn, and they didn't flip on that Delver, so they don't have Daze, most likely. Unless they didn't care about the Bob. Cauldron off the top. Look, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Right, Ponder chose to not shuffle, so we can definitely say that those Delvers are gonna be flipping. Wow, no attacks! Don't you do it. Oof. Wasteland, okay. How do we want to do this? I don't mind Thoughtseize into Stoneforge for Jitte. Oh, they're going to force this. Well, then I'm pretty happy to just go for Broke and him them the last 2 cards. Prismatic Ending and Murktide, nice. Definitely attacking because we know that these Delvers are flipping. Which puts us down to 11. Expressive Iteration's a pretty good card to show here. Another Delver. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Happy to see what they... Oh, they don't actually show what they flip, of course. So I am just going to Swords one of these right now. Just to play around days. They attack the Lily. That's not too bad. Gives us time. They play the land. Interesting. Another Stoneforge. Okay. I think we just Stoneforge for Kuldra here to get it out of the deck. And then probably the second one for... Oh, no, I only have the white. Interesting. I only have the one white source. I thought I had double. That is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we draw land next time, we can Stoneforge for Jade and attack as well, which is quite nice. And we also don't die to Batterskull off the top. We do, actually. Don't say it. Don't say it, Dougal. I won't Wasteland here either, because I do want the mana for equipping Jite if we draw a white source. They don't play Mystic Sanctuary, which is interesting, because they could have got it there. And I think if they did play Mystic Sanctuary, they would have grabbed it. Oh, but no land? Okay. Okay. I think I should potentially have Inquisition them this turn. Again, we just have to keep... We can Inquisition them, but honestly, what would they have in hand that they haven't cast? It's probably either Force or Daze or a land, so I don't think it's actually worth Inquisitioning. But to be fair, like the Sudden Edict can't be countered, which is nice. So I think we're gonna see. I'm gonna say it's a Daze in hand. Wear Tear. All right. I guess that gets out. That's actually quite nice because it means that we don't just die to a. We do still have the dream. We're still in bolt range. They just gave up? Why? What was the card? Oh, it was Wasteland. Oh, it was all good. It was we were Gucci. We were Gucci. We Look. It happens. Ah, what life were they on? Maybe they... I actually didn't see what life they were on. Maybe they were actually just dead to the crackback. Oh wow, they were on 7? Okay. Yeah, should definitely be more... Yeah, I should have known that. Apologies. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see Deadguy kind of moved out of the format. Yeah, exactly. With a Bob on board, I'm always allowing my opponent to untap. Played into Sulfur Elemental? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I guess they can, yeah, split second us. Yeah. I remember getting, it was against Mono Red Prison, probably a year ago now. I knew they had one Sulfur Elemental from some sort of reveal. I'm not sure what it was. And I didn't activate Stoneforge Mystic in my turn, so they untapped. They cast one, then they cast a second one, killing the Stoneforge Mystic, meaning I couldn't put in Batterskull. And I lost that game, and it was terrible. And now I have really bad flashbacks of Sulfur Elemental. It might just have to be the second card that I start collecting, just to get it off the market, because that is a card no fan of Fair Magic wants to play against. But a cool card, I'll give them that. Pretty cool against Monastery Mentor as well. Gets rid of a lot of tokens, which is cool. It should have Pro White as well. It should be Fire Design. I do have a folder of a certain card. Yes, I keep it hidden behind me, never for the world to see. I do not name that card. It is not Bad Moon. It is a 3-letter. Granham might have said it. That card is that card took my local metagame by storm. And to be fair, it is the reason that I moved to Maverick, because I wanted to try out different colors. So I think that card actually is the reason the Green Sun Zenith is what it is today. Maybe even why Duke's on Twitch. Look, let's get them out. Let's get them out. I even house it in a white folder. But this is my collection of Dread of Nights. And Massacres. Massacres in the middle, just to break it up a little bit between the Tempest versions and the 4th Ed versions, I believe. Maybe it's 6th Ed. But yeah, one day we will burn this. One day. Maybe I'll do a giveaway and someone else can burn it. Who knows? But those Dread of Nights are going nowhere in this local metagame. I don't think that price bot works. But 0 Japanese ones, unfortunately, Granham. Very cool to see Luke as well finish off Japanese Tess. Obviously now needs to get the baubles to replace the ponders, but otherwise, pretty sweet to see. You would have a full binder of Terminus. Yeah, that's another card that definitely changed the game for a few decks in Legacy. Woof. Yeah, I think the Plague Engineer is just a little bit better. Hey, Expedition Map. Very cool to see you. Very cool to see you. A big shout out to Michael Mapson and his recent team win. I believe going 7-1 himself and taking out the team event as a team, which is very cool to see. Very, very cool. If anyone wants to check it out, you should definitely check out the Dark Depths podcast, found on all your podcast platforms. Pretty sweet team, him and Billy. All right, on the play, which is nice. With an acceptable hand, I'm pretty happy to keep this. We will be going for a Scrubland with a Verdant, but a lot of nice early interaction, and then some nice Hail Mary cards to get there later on. Alright, opponent on 6 cards. Oh, but it's me going first, so... let's go with Verdant, and then just play this Relic out off a Scrubland. I could have also played Wasteland into... because I don't think my opponent would Wasteland me, but... definitely interesting. I feel like Relic gives us a little bit of game against maybe an unfair deck that's mulliganed. Yeah, maybe a little bit too fast there. Volk. Okay. Ponder. Sure. If this Ponder is a shuffle, I'm pretty happy just to Wasteland back. They chose to not shuffle. Him. I don't mind Bob here. Obviously open to removal, but we also want to start finding lands. Could have targeted them in response to the Wasteland, but here we are. Now I'm pretty happy just to Wasteland back. I don't think the Wasteland's doing too much for us, but potentially a little bit aggressive there. Just gonna exile this and pass back. At least against Delver, we do have a lot of interaction once we draw just one land. And we are keeping them off Murktide and also just DRC being a spell that we want to see. Alright. This is the magic that I love. We're currently at 7, which is nice. The little relic that could. Oh, I will respond to this, and then just 6. I assume this is going to be inexpressive. Probably either expressive or potentially DRC into Ponder. Misty. Bauble. Yeah, see, like, this is getting to a stage where they're just getting so far ahead with... Yeah. Oh, perfect. I actually think here it's going to be second relic, but I kind of also want to play around days to some extent. That I could just see Inquisition coming down. It could also be relic them, and then maybe even just cash this one in to get another land drop to then play relic again. Like, I think the big card here is Murktide. And the question is, if we Inquisition and they daze it, and we take out one card, they probably can, well, they can still Murktide the following turn. So I think here it's just going to be pass with Relic open to potentially draw into another land. I think that's better than Inquisition here, especially if it is Murktide that we're caring about. We don't really care about the 1-drops right now, because if we draw into a white source, we have Prismatic Ending around days to answer them, so I actually don't mind this. But I will want to respond to this fetch land. And they should actually fetch before they play a land if they don't have another fetch land, so they can cast Murktide without giving me priority. Yeah, so if they fetch here, I think I just want to crack this relic right now, because if we let it resolve, then they have 3 cards in the bin and most likely 4 mana, so... Stoneforge not really where I want to be. Oof. I don't mind Inquisition here, just to be able to hopefully play the Relic around Days. Probably a pretty easy drop here of Lily, I think. It could potentially be a Bob. But I think it's just Lily in case we don't draw into like a third land after the second. It's pretty good. But a slow clock, which is nice for us. This turn is probably just going to be Relic Pass. If they Expressive Iteration, potentially it's going to be cracking the Relic end step to find a white source for these removal spells. Especially if they are bin. No bin. Okay. Now this Relic cashing in is actually quite nice. We get to hit a lot of cards here. Alright, deck. Hey! I don't mind Thoughtseize first. I assume they have a Daze, yeah, for Mystic. So they also have a Wasteland for the white source. I guess we take Force, and that allows us to exile one of these creatures. Gotta take Murktide. It's tough because if we allow them to force one of these removal spells and then take us off white, they still have 3 threats in play, so I don't think an extra threat is annoying. I think it's taking care of what's in play and then trying to get to a stage where we could potentially get it. Yeah, I think this game is definitely over, but there's still decisions that I can try to make with as much... Yeah, I can still get my decisions right, even if it is a lost game. Yeah, I think it's going to be Force. And then they can most likely get a creature into the bin next turn, so we will just get rid of a DRC. We take 6, they deal with our scrubland, we then draw into white source, we can remove 1 creature, and we're just going to be dead, so tough. Dam's pretty cool. Dam could definitely be in the deck. Okay. On the play, I'm actually going to try out the Plague Engineer, just as an extra threat as well, I don't mind it. So the Plagues and the Sudden Edicts. I'm not sure if I want to be in a Mox Diamond world again. I could see that, like, we've been taking out Mox Diamonds, so I don't mind that. And then probably the Hymns. I think Hymns are pretty terrible. I could see all Hymns out and then bring in the Moxen. I don't mind that. I don't think we have the luxury of him being great against their deck, especially with so many ways to get things back. I think the best hit would be lands, potentially. Okay. Pretty happy to keep this. Probably turn 1 Bob, dropping a Silent Clearing. But Silent Clearing also quite nice. I think I do want to keep the double Wasteland, but not show one. So yeah, let's go Mox, pitch Silent Clearing, play Scrubland, play Bob. Oh. Hopefully draw out a removal spell and then be able to Stoneforge next turn for Kaldra. Potentially even Wasteland at the same time. And the Festivities. Okay. I could go for Jide here as well, but I think Kaldra just makes them have to have a removal spell. That I really like Kaldra. It also means they have to go for another Volk potentially, which turns on this Wasteland. Yeah, and like that can literally be it. Like they have 7 cards in hand, but they just can't answer the Kaldra. Which is really interesting. Maybe they just didn't have another land. I'm going to put it down to they didn't have another land, because they do have Brazen Borrower in the deck, which does answer the Germ token. But, I mean, that's exactly what I want from a Mox Diamond hand, is just put pressure on straight away. Make them have removal for the threat, hit their mana, make them have removal for the threat, concede. Sounds a little bit easier than it typically is. I don't think Sorin is where I want to be, but a 2/3 flyer lifelink is pretty interesting. Like 4 mana is a lot, but there is a world where, because of our interaction in the early game, we could get to Sorin, but maybe not. Like, to be fair, we're 1/2, so I am going to try out a Sorin. I think Sorin's pretty cool. I'm going to take out 1 Engineer. Because like that's a Fog of Return, gain 2 life, which is kind of cool. I don't want it in my opening hand, but I'm happy to keep this, especially having a Plains with Prismatic Ending. What is the artwork on Kaldra supposed to be? That is a good question. I believe it's a face. I believe this is like a mask. Yeah. There we go. So it's like a big machine with a mask holding a sword. Opponent goes to 6. Ah, there are pieces of Kaldra. I never knew that. That's pretty cool. Marsh Flats is interesting. I'm pretty happy then to go Urborg into Thoughtseize. I could go basic. That does play into Stifle here. But do I care? No, I think I'm happy to go for Urborg into Thoughtseize here. Wow, okay. Pretty happy to take the days here. Wasteland's fine. Upkeep, I'm just going to fetch Swamp. Flooded Strand. Nice. Sudden Edict is fantastic. I'm going to get the Stoneforge Mystic down here. Because we have two, getting Kaldra is just so nice. Really pressures them to have an out. Alright, they drew the bolt. Alright, there's Wasteland. So force one card. Land is pretty nice here. And there's the force. Don't you dare cast it. Ugh. Still pretty good. Oh, that's pretty nice. I think I'd rather play Bob here, because we have the Sudden Edict for a Murktide. We could definitely fetch something cheaper. I just didn't expect them, after not having no removal, to have double answer to Stoneforge. And Kaldra just allows us to get there. The thing about Jide is that, like, if they also have removal, they can just obviously take the creature off what is getting hit with Jide. But yeah, the draw for Kaldra for me was knowing their hand without removal and having two ways to put it into play. Also just closes out the game really quickly. Oh, did it go down? Oh my gosh. Hey team, we are hopefully back. Nice. Alright. Oh, they drew a Narset. Okay, interesting. Yeah, sadly we have this really weird issue upstairs, which I assume should be fixed, but when the microwave is used, the modem decides to switch off. Which cannot be normal. Wasteland's kind of nice. I don't mind Wasteland here. I probably just want to take them off their graveyard right now. Oh, I should have done it in their turn, sorry, of course, because of the Narset. Apologies, that was just incorrect. Yeah. Still in a great spot, let's be honest. Electro smog from microwaves interfering with Wi-Fi is quite common. Interesting. I'm actually going to Google that after the stream. Because it is really annoying. I'm not too sure what the fix is. Because I don't think it's a case of the microwave being issue. Bolt is fine. Another relic is actually pretty good. I might even want to hold the scrubland here. Just in case I draw into a 3-drop. I don't want to get it hit by the wasteland. Might be the shielding? Interesting. I don't mind playing this now because we have the extra one. Alright, one card still in hand for my opponent. Probably the card they, yeah, obviously the card they kept off the expressive iteration. Murktide's fine. Well, I guess we're working towards hardcast Kaldra complete. There is a world where it's worth cashing in this relic on their end step, because we have an answer to most of their threats. But I still don't mind it here. Okay. Thankfully, yes, Rhino. We are back. No shuffle, Delver. Okay. I'm happy to see what this Delver flips. Brainstorm. I probably just want to swords this in response then. They're going to hold the Brainstorm. I can't draw during my turn. I'm going to start with Thoughtseize. Which means they can just keep a land and put 2 spells on top. Target them. One card in hand. All right. Just gonna upkeep swords. I still think I want the relic just for 1 or 2 more turns. Position. Okay. Force? Yeah. Alright. End of their turn, we're going to cash in this relic. Land. I still... no. We're fine here. Oh, that's pretty good. But they do have 5 mana for this. So I kind of want them to cast something next turn. Yeah. Really want to take them off this hardcast force. Alright, let's cash this in. This has done enough. Oh, Bob's pretty good. Delta. Nice. This is force bait, which is really nice because this Sorin can really take over the game potentially. It is also 2 cards there. Oh, they played the land. All right. Here comes Sorin. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's one card we don't want to see. No flip, but they fetch, so they can still draw into a bolt. But it doesn't kill the Sorin, which is pretty nice for us. I honestly think here we're just going to... Yeah, I don't want to lose life. I think I am just going to make another token. I will play the Wasteland. Minsk and Boo is really nice. Ooh. We can actually get Jide here, potentially. And attack in. Crazy. I did not expect this. You love to see it. You love to see it. Ugh. So good. Beautiful. Yeah, Minsk and Boo has been solid. In paper, it's been fantastic. And I think online it will make a lot of good things. Could have taken the card, but I think getting 2/2/3 flyers with lifelinks is really nice. Because obviously one trades with Delver and also makes them have to have 2 removal spells to start attacking with the Delver. And having the Stoneforge there as well, I think is a really nice way to win the game. So yeah, I think the tokens are nice because we get them straight away as well, which is pretty awesome. All right, GN. On the draw. with an okay hand. Pretty much a 6 with the Batterskull, and I would keep this 6, so... Just hope they're not on some sort of combo deck. Probably Delver again. Okay. They chose to shuffle, so a Wasteland off the top would be pretty cool. We don't see it. I'm just going to go Delta Pass. It gives away the least amount of information. It's also probably the scariest start that we can have. Something I picked up from Max Distortion, who also streams quite a lot. Wow, no second land? Ooh, that's pretty nice. Surely they have Days of Force if they've kept this. Yeah. That's fine. Mox is actually a fantastic draw because it's a card that I just don't really want to see. So let's go with Delta Crack, get another Scrubland, and then we also have the... oh, I guess we could also play the Mox Diamond to play a little bit around Days again. Yeah, I don't mind that. And then just drop the Batterskull. Even though we're pretty close to getting the Batterskull online. I think that's fine. It also means if they counter this, we're then just one land away from Batterskull. Yeah, that's fine. Chose to shuffle. Still no land. Well, now we're kind of in a situation where we just want a land. We both want lands, even though we have 3 in play. Hey! I'm just jamming this. They have 7 cards in hand, but there's no way I'm waiting. Alright. I will play this out. Pretty funny. We're kind of flooding and they're obviously not hitting mana. I'm also happy just getting the one basic out of the deck. And then not drawing the Scrubland. Pretty close. We do get a redraw. Oh. This is the legacy that I enjoy. Hurrah, my opponent has found a second land. Well, that's actually pretty good. They probably don't have many 3-drops in the deck, so I don't mind trying to get rid of this with Prismatic Ending, like this. But main deck counterbalance is really interesting. Oh my gosh. Come on now. If I knew about this, we would have played around Days all day. Let's be honest. Ooh, Shredder? If they fetch, we're definitely going to Swords here in response so they can't cast a second spell. Unless it's a counter spell. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will play one more. Because it allows us to cast Kaldra if we draw it. Alright, Murktide. It's pretty good. Oh, they get back Force? Yikes. I guess then we're going to untap and see if we can draw into maybe a removal spell. Oh, okay. Let's go for Sword first. Wow, let's let it slide. Maybe jamming isn't where I should have been, but it's definitely pretty easy to see hindsight. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just jamming. Oh, do we actually have the lands left? I don't think we do. 2. Yeah, we don't. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But Marsh Flats doesn't actually find a land. Now that is funny. You can only laugh at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we get a clock. But I think that clock is just going to be faster. Unless we find Jitte. That's pretty good. Tough. Sudden Edict. I didn't mind Sorin last time. Hymns out. I'm not going to play into the counter balance either. I'd rather just go down maybe on a Mox. How many Delver matches? This will be the 4th. It was Black Red Reanimator and Delver. Yeah. Which isn't usual. I wouldn't say that's a usual thing. Pretty happy to keep this. Turn 1, probably turn 1 Thoughtseize, but I don't mind turn 1 Relic either. Yeah, I don't mind turn 1 Thoughtseize. I think we just take the DRC here. Even though we have the Relic, it's obviously really good with the Bauble as well. Probably could have also gone for Bob there, but I don't want to lose the Relic to the counterbalance. Wonder if they go Shredder or Counterbalance here. Probably Shredder into Bauble. No, Counterbalance. Okay. That's pretty nice. Ponder on top. I will take them off a land. Target them and pass back. Keeping them off the land just nice when they have the Ledger Shredder in play. Oh, no land? Pretty happy just to try to jam this Veil. A few things we could do. Hey Udok, thanks for the Prime sub. A huge thank you. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what do you play in Legacy? Thankfully, next turn with a fetch land, they will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There'll be one off Murktide, unless they draw into... Yeah, I'm pretty happy to jam Lily here. A 3 is not something you usually see. Days, that's fine. Chose to not shuffle. Bauble. From Canada. Suburb of Toronto to start playing Legacy in the process of building Naya Depths and Paper. Very cool. Nice, that's awesome. I believe Toronto has a pretty nice scene. I think I actually want to hit their graveyard here, but I can do it in response to the Bauble, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, yeah, because they need to put something in the bin to cast Murktide anyway. So I don't need to do it right now. And there's the fetch. Another Bob. Shredder's pretty nice here. Full Bobs. Are we? Are we? Is this happening? We have to get rid of this Ledger Shredder. So we kind of have to hope there's... not a 2-drop on top. Force. Force Negation. They kept in Force Negation. Interesting. Do I attack? I don't think I attack here. I think it's Wasteland hold up card draw. Like, I could try to get 4 Bobs in play and just do that, but I think here it's just going to be take them off mana. And then also draw in their end step. Oh, Mox Diamond's kind of nice. It means we can see what's on top first. Expressive Iteration. Okay, that means we can bottom the Caracas, and then to play around the Expressive Iteration on top of their deck, we can actually go black, white, red for Prismatic for 3 on the Shredder, which makes them at least have to use the Force of Will in hand. Oh, no, because they connive, of course. It actually... But I still don't think they have a 3-drop in hand. It's an island on top now. Force, pitch, expressive iteration. Alright, I guess we're just going to go with island on top, so we can now expressive again? Okay. Playing the silent clearing because I want to be able to draw next turn. Oh, Unholy Heat. Okay, they get to look again. Connive. Oh, it hits? No. It doesn't. Bob's in. Now I'd actually love for them to Unholy Heat that. That's more than fine. They actually have no cards in hand. Okay. Oh, Sorin with no cards in hand? Hell yes. Surely they don't have a 4-drop on top either. I don't mind making a creature here. And then fetching for Bob. Volcanic Island on top. It's a tough spot for them. Yeah. Nice. Very cool. I don't think I want to change anything, honestly. Pretty cool game. Their counterbalance didn't do a whole lot, but it's really cool to see Ledger Shredder with Connive and how they can actually flip for counterbalance and then maybe even get a new card on top. I don't like this hand, especially against the deck that most likely has a turn 1 threat. I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. This is probably better, and I'm probably going to bottom the extra Bob, and then keep the Lily and Plague as just ways to hopefully remove creatures, but a little bit tough. Bauble first. Okay. Turn 1 Ponder is quite nice. It's much better for us than a turn 1 threat. I think the best card for us is probably either Thoughtseize or Inquisition off the top. Another Bauble, okay. I probably wouldn't mind a Relic either. They're so close to casting Murktide turn 2. Stoneforge. They could fetch and make a 3/3. Oh, I guess a 4/4 Murktide? Nothing. Okay. Nothing's really weird. It makes me think they have a Brazen Borrower. I'm going to go with Bob here. Hardcast stays. Sure. Sure. No creature is huge. I think it's just going to be another Bob. Hey, Vegeta. Too kind. Too kind. I have some really cool donation deck lists coming up. We have a green-white Depths deck. We have a Abzan, green-white Maverick, Abzan Depths. A few pretty sweet leaks coming out on the channel as well, including Mono Black Depths. Just put up the trophy with Hammer. Just put the trophy up with Naya Depths as well. No Canadian Threshold plan, but FP Pauls puts on some pretty cool content around modern and old decks and how they fare right now. So taking, say, Core Blade from 2012 and playing it now, card for card, which is pretty awesome. A land here is pretty perfect because it means we can play Lily around days. And I'd love to do that. I'd love to take like 2011 Maverick and just play it into a league and see how it goes. I wonder how many 3-drops they have outside of Brazen Borrower. Probably not many. They're going to force that. That's fine. Yes. This guy. I believe they're Brazilian. Maybe Spanish. I could be wrong with either. You are more than welcome. Shredder's going to be fine, especially with Liliana here. Steam vents. They're definitely thinking about forcing this. Yeah. Pitching Murktide. Surely last card isn't Days. So Ponder is now on top. Because they got to bottom the Steam Vents. I think in that case, we have 5 mana. I might just get Batterskull. Could also get Jide. This is actually a tough one. I mean, if the Stoneforge survives, like, Jide is still pretty good, so I don't mind that. It also makes just all of our creatures a good threat. But if I had a bit more time, I probably would have put a little bit more thought into that as well. That might also make my opponent think that this card is Kaldra or Batterskull. Interesting that they're brainstorming after they ponder, instead of using the ponder shuffle for the brainstorm, which makes me think they found a fetch land with the ponder. No. But no removal either? Surely. No. Wow. I don't mind Thoughtseize and see what's on top with Counterbalance. I assume they would have put a 2 on top, just in case we played the Jide and tried to swing in with it. I also don't want them to connive, so I won't actually cast another spell this turn. I kind of want to hold the Wasteland here, it doesn't do too much allowing them to have it. And it is a 5th source for us, which means that we have 2 mana for the Plague, or 3 mana and then 2 mana to equip in the same turn if needed. Another Shredder's pretty good. I guess like double spelling is a reason to take them off that. They have 1 card left. Yeah, I don't want an Inquisition here, I don't... Oh, maybe I do. No, because then they get to connive. Scalding Tarn. We'll name Bird. I don't think Advisor does anything. I don't think Bird does anything either, but we will at least do this. And then maybe now I will, but this is actually tough because we know Scalding Tarn is on top. We know they kept a card with Iteration because the Ledger Shredder here was let go. So they get double connive triggers, which is draw a card, discard a card. Yeah, so like if they draw the Scalding Tarn, they probably just discard the card we take anyway, and then they have land left. So I think here I'd rather just take them off double red than equip the Jide. Yeah, there might be a world where that just like takes them off the ability to Expressive Iteration into a burn spell. I guess they could find a land and then another. This is definitely a tough one late at night. What does chat think? What do you guys think? Kill the red land? Yeah, maybe it is worth trying to keep them off like another iteration. They've gone through 2. They've gone through 1 Unholy Heat and 1 Bolt, which definitely makes me concerned. But the issue is that if I Inquisition them, they get to connive twice. But then I guess if they connive, it's not like they keep the card on top. Could definitely waste the Sanctuary to keep Daze off the board as well. I think because they're tapped out, I'm happy to Inquisition here. Yeah, because they have to connive. And this takes off the thought that they have a removal spell in hand. Or can they stack it? Maybe they can stack it. Yeah, they can actually stack it differently. Oh, wow. Yeah. Alright. I should have thought about how they could actually stack it all. They chose to not shuffle, yeah. Tough. Maybe it was incorrect to allow them to connive. That's definitely a tough one. But deck was pretty sweet. I think overall the matchup against Delve is quite strong. It's just a case of getting a little bit luckier with draws. Like that one game where we got to a stage where we couldn't even fetch or anything was pretty rough, but yeah, deck was sweet. The relics are obviously really strong in the games that we saw them, at least keeping things off the board. Swords and Prismatic obviously are great removal spells. Their Serenities didn't, like, a lot of the sideboard didn't really come up playing against Delver full times, but yeah, overall the deck was pretty sweet. I think if anything it would be cool to try out a version with either 4 Mox Diamonds and a few more lands, or Chrome Mox, and see how that goes, because Chrome Mox is pretty sweet as well. You usually have a higher density of spells in your opening hand than lands anyway, so it is kind of turned on. The thing is that Mox Diamond can obviously tap for both colors, but anything you're exiling in this deck other than Kaya is only going to tap for 1 or 2 colors, so yeah. Definitely a tough one to finish on, but I'm going to see who else is streaming. A huge thank you to the Maverick Joe for sending through the challenge. Of course, we do have 2 more coming, which is nice. So we'll see how those go. But I think Tagores might be streaming Modern. Gabe is streaming no ban list Modern. Okay, that actually sounds pretty sweet. Nice. I'm going to send you guys over to Gabe. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me here. If you want to find me on YouTube, you can find me here. Enjoy your weekends. I'll hopefully see you on Sunday night with some content, but I will have some live content going up on YouTube tonight and most likely Sunday morning as well. So definitely keep that in touch. But until then, enjoy.